A while back, there used to be a castle in the middle of Braemar. Well, we cry it Braemar nowadays, but back then it was called Castleton. And Kendrochet Castle stood there, a recht fine biggin, on the banks of the Clooney. It was visited by the kings of Scotland, wha liked to come hunting in the forests up at Mar. Well, the castle was looked after by the constable. Now, he wasna a wheel like it, manny. Na, he was coarse and hard-hearted. Folk werena keen on him at va. But he did the egg-weed thing, for he captured the beast o' Kendrochet. There was this muckle boar that used to ging about the woods, stealing folks' hens and, just making a recht pest o' itsel. And so when the constable caught it time when he was out hunting, Abdi cheered. But of course, they didna ken if it was coming, did they? For he didna kill the beast. Na, he keepit it in a wee den up by the castle. And it needed feeding. Well, of course, the constable wasn't going to feed him his ain kye. So he guard the peer folk of the area to gie a kye elkie wick to feed the muckle boar. Well, this was a real hardship for the peer folk, for didna hae muckle as it was, but they couldn't say no to the constable, for he was in charge, and if they tried to disagree with him, he would fling him out. Well, it come time for the widow MacLeod to gie up her kye. And she was sair made about it, for she only hid the beast, and fit was she gone to die without her kye, foo would she get milk and cheese and butter, foo was she going to manage to survive? She was lamenting the very thought o' it, and saying to hersel if only her man was still alive, he would ha' done something about it. For he was a grand bowman. He'd ha' shot thon beast recht through the heart, and that would have been the end o't, and Abdi's kye would have been saved. Well, unbeknownst to her, the widow's son was lugging in, and when he heard his mother speaking about foo hard life would be without their coo, he decided to do something about it. Now, he was a nae bad bowman himsel, for he'd plenty of time to practice when he was up in the hills looking after the sheep. So that night he made 3 brand new arras, and tied them in a way that only he knew foo. And when his mother was fast asleep, he headed out into the woods and shot himsel a capercaillie. Syne he ta'en the capercaillie down to the edge of the Clooney, recht across the burren for the castle. And when he made sure that the guards werena watching, he flung the capercaillie o'er the burren into the den for the muckle boar bid. Syne he waited. Didn't take long afore the beast sniffed out the capercaillie and come out to hae a feast. And it opened up its great gaping moo, and wi' ae bite it swallowed the capercaillie. And just as the feathers disappeared down its throat, Sandy ta'en aim wi' his bow and arrow and fired recht across the Clooney, and the arrow went recht into the heart of the muckle boar. It dropped down dead in an instant, and Sandy skedaddled out of there. Well, the next morning there was enough of commotion, and when the constable heard that the beast was lying dead, he was raging. Fadidess, fit were the uptell. Would they be coming for him next? Or war? Would they be coming for King Malcolm? For the king was on his way to Kendrochet, just as that very morning was passing. He would be there within the day. They'd hate to find the bowman and get him arrested quick. Well, the sodgers had ta'en the arra to the constable, and fin the constable looked at it, he could see that it was tied in a real peculiar way. So he sent the sodgers out to find the body that made arras like thon. It didna tak them long to track doon Sandy, and fin they brocht them up to Kindrochit Castle and took him before the constable couldna hardly believe his een. He said, "Has young loon shot a muckle boar?" "Aye," said Sandy, "it was me, and I would do it again, for it's nae ease this feeding the peer folks' beasts to the muckle boar. I would easy sheat him again." Well, the constable announced that Sandy would hae to hang for this offence. And when Sandy's mother got word, she was beside hersel. Fit what she'd do without her wee loon. Well, she decided there was nae point in trying to plead with the constable, for he wouldna listen. So she set off instead to fa in with King Malcolm and his party as they come o'er the hill to Braemar. She sat and waited until the king was in sight. Then she ran and flung hersel at his feet and pleaded that he would save her loon. When he heard the story, the king said he would speir at the castle about fit was gone on. And when he arrived at Kindrochit, he could see that the gallows had been set up and a hale crowd of folk had come to watch. And when he speered at the constable about fit was going on, the king realised that he couldna let the young loon off scot-free. So he cried on Sandy and his mother to come by, and he said, "I'll tell you fit, young lad, if ye accept a challenge for me and you manage to win, then I'll let you hae your life back. But if you dinna accept the challenge, then it's a hanging for you." Well, Sandy thought he had nothing to lose, so he said, "Nae bother, your majesty, I'll accept your challenge." But when the young lad heard what it was, he cried, "Na, I'll nae do that. Na, ye can hang me noo. There's nae why I'm going to do that." But the king said, "A deal's a deal, young man. Ye have nae option." Well, Sandy stood on the banks of the Clooney, doon aneath Kindrochit, and recht across the burren at the other side stood his mother, on the very ledge for he himsel had been the other nicht when he shot the wild boar. And his mother had a peat on her head. And the king said, "If you can shoot that peat off her head, you'll get free." Well, Sandy's throat was dry. His hands were shaking. He could barely stun. But when he looked across at his mother, she stood there, tall and proud, with a big smile on her face. And when Sandy seen a look of confidence in her e'e, he knew he could deet. And he lifted up his bow, and he shot his arrow recht across the Clooney, recht into the peat. A muckle cheer got up. Abdi was fair chuffed. And the king says, "Well, my lad, you've done weel, but why did you speer for twa arras?" "Well," said Sandy, "if I had missed the peat and hit my mother with the first een, the second een would have been for you." The place went deadly silent until the king started laughing. He says, "Oh, Mechty, my lad, you're nae a daft fearter, you're a hardy thing. In fact, fae this day on, I'm going to ca' you Hardy. And when you're all enough, you can join my archers." Well, it's true, fae that day on, The MacLeods were ca'd the Hardys. But Sandy never did join the archers, for thon was the very last arrow he ever shot.